I don't think anyone will debate if you ask this question that do you want to live long? I think 99 out of 100 people will say yes.
It really depends on how you define long. Every time I get in front of a group of people in, with a corporate talk or an audience, I often ask the question, who would like to live to be, let's say, 60, 70, 80, 90? And I notice that the older that number becomes, fewer and fewer hands stay raised. They start to come down. And then a natural follow-up question is, why did you then drop your hand? And they reply, well, I don't live in disease. I've seen, the suffering and all of those things. So I think there's one track which we need to address off the bat, which is when we talk about living long, we don't just mean in a state of old health like we see today, which is one with disease and sickness. Hopefully through this conversation, we can talk about how do we live healthier for longer, right? And what does that mean? So I think that's one piece for sure. The other is longevity is very relative. If we were doing this podcast in the late 1800s, a person who is considered to be old would be probably someone who's younger. I don't know your age, but certainly much younger than I am, where global life expectancy was
About 40.
yeah, exactly, right? Late 30s, 40s. Then the World War came, we saw the advent of antibiotics, and that pushed it along further. 1960s, 1970s, generic medications, so some of the communicable or non-communicable diseases were also being addressed. So this term longevity continuously gets pushed further and further out. And where we are today versus 1960, over the world, we saw a 19-year addition to the global life expectancy.